Hello there, we are on the porch today and I have a simple porch here, and the way that it's structured is kind of hard to film, so I apologize. I will try to do my best. So if you love Sempervivums as much as I do, but you're not able to grow them well, I hope this video will help you out. So I have been growing Sempervivums on and off for several years now. But it wasn't until last year that I felt I had some success with growing them. So started off with 20 to 30 plants in one container, ended up with 9 going into the winter, and then somehow accidentally lost 2 when I was trying to dig them up before our stump removal so they could be protected. Anyway, went through the whole spring, summer, and of course until fall. So ended up with only 3 left. Decided to bring them here into one of these containers instead of having them in the terracotta containers. Now, even though I ended up with only 3 in the end, I still feel some level of success. And I was able to observe them. I know that I wasn't doing a good job as much as I should have, just because there was just a lot of things going on in the spring and the summer. But with the time that I allocated to them, I kind of could figure out what they didn't like, what they did like, especially with the new containers. So today I would like to help you out if you have been having issues based on my experience here, what they like best. If you have been growing these, you know that they can do well in full sun, and we're talking about even in full sun in the south here. And they can also do well in part sun. They like well-draining soil, and they don't like wet feet. But what I also noticed this year when these other containers were also present was that they needed to have kind of like that sweet consistency of soil content. So cannot say the exact science that goes into the soil content as far as the ratios of the different components, but I will say that according to the expert like Lisa Roper from Chanticleer Garden, she recommended, having soil from a certain company, certain brand, and I'll put that out for you so you can see. I could not find them locally here, and I do not like to buy a lot of gardening things online, like plants and soil and things like that. So I just like to go to my local areas here to buy them. So I have not seen any of those types of soils that they mentioned. So what soil did I end up using in these containers? Well, it kind of happened by accident. So some of the soil came from a mix that I've already done for the cacti over there, and part of the soil was from a mixture that I used for a workshop. So when I saw the consistency of the soil, I was like, I think this content here could work for the succulents. So anyway, what you see here is a mixture of what I've already done previously with the cacti soil, which I cannot remember. I don't think I did any kind of specific ratio. I just kind of like made sure that I had more sand in there versus soil. For the other soil mixture, it was 1/3 coarse sand, 1/3 organic potting soil, and 1/3 soil conditioner. And I can show you the consistency of it. Now, if you want to put a little bit more sand in there, I think it is totally fine. So let me show you close up. All right, so what makes this soil mixture a good one for the succulents? So as you can see, there is still some moisture in there, but it's also well draining. It's not like is full of water. So you go like that, it's crumbly. It's not sticking like if you had clay. So you can see that, right? So I think that is the sweet spot that the succulents like. So underneath the gravel, you still have some nice soil there that's not dry. You can see that it's not dry at all, but it is well draining. And I think that is key. You don't want the soil to be too dry, and you don't want the soil to be too wet. So as you saw, the sweet spot is not too wet and not too dry. And I think that's what they like it the most, and that is why these guys have been able to do so well. Now, the 3 that were in the terracotta pots, you know, terracotta pots are very porous, so they dry out pretty quickly, and there was not a lot of soil there. So I noticed that it was either, you know, getting wet from the rain, or it was getting dry. So it's the mixture of very wet and very dry. And I do have to say, and it wasn't very fertile either. I find that this soil mixture right now is still fertile. I have not yet fertilized these containers yet. Now, cannot say that the ratio that I have here is perfect or at the sweet spot, but just based on my experience of seeing these guys grow during the summer, I can say that they are doing so good. Time will only tell whether this mixture continues to do well. Of course, you know, eventually there's not going to be a lot of fertility here. That means I could either replenish the soil, or I can go ahead and fertilize these guys. So you're probably wondering why the Sempervivums are on the porch right now and not where they were during the summer. Well, here's the thing. As mentioned, they do not like wet feet. They like well-draining soil. In our zone here, our condition here, we tend to get a lot more rain. And because it's going to be winter, we're going to get a lot more rain, potentially. Just historically, we've been getting more rain during the winter. What that means is these guys are going to get hit by more moisture than they would probably like. Now, as mentioned, the soil here can drain well, but why not help these guys along, especially when we know that we're just going to get lots and lots and lots of days of rain anyway. These guys do need some, you know, some rest time, some, I don't know how you would say it, some time to recover from that constant rain. So I thought that it would be great to help these guys out and just have them be on the porch where they're not getting hit by constant rain when, you know, potentially when we do get the rain. And another good thing is they don't have to be inside the garage or, you know, in the house or whatever. And the reason is because they can go down to negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Unless you live in, say, a zone that is colder than zone 4, then I would see you bring it inside. But here in the south, I don't think we ever get down to 0, not even 5 degrees. I think we did get to 6 degrees one time. So these guys will be fine, and I'm so glad that they are going to be fine in the winter here, and that the only thing they need is to be sheltered from constant moisture. As mentioned, again, they can probably be doing okay with constant rain, but to help them out, to make sure that they are getting the most optimal environment as possible, They are going to be here for the winter, and guess what? We get to enjoy them instead of being a little bit farther away. So whenever I'm out here, these can be enjoyed, and right now they don't look bad at all as winter interest, as we're in the holiday season, Christmas season, so they don't look bad at all. Kind of like, to me, they kind of look like ornaments. They do provide that Christmassy vibe to them because of the beautiful green rosettes. And you already know here we have some purplish, reddish rosettes, and these guys just look so pretty together with the green, and they just look like ornaments, beautiful ornaments for the Christmas season. If you've ever had issues growing your succulents like I had in the past, that it may be not you, it may be the soil that you bought that doesn't have the right consistency or the right ratio of soil content that you need to have these succulents thrive. You can buy the recommended soil for Sempervivums, or if you're like me, you're not able to find it in your local stores, and the fact that you don't like to buy anything online as well, then you can try the same ratio as I did here, and hopefully you will have success with growing your Sempervivums as well. If you have any questions, comments on Sempervivums that I could help you with, please write them down in the comments section down below. And with that, thank you so much for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it helpful. And until the next video, I hope you take care. Bye for now.